Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. It amazes me that there is yet another story to surface about this same thing again. This time we're talking about a black 7th grader who played with a toy gun during their virtual class and his school called the police. I'm trying to figure this one out. First of all, we're talking about a 7th grader, okay? A 7th grader, and there's an image of the gun here. Okay, if I remember, I will include that image in the video. It's very obvious that the gun is a toy. On the side of it, it says Zombie Hunter. It's green and black, and it has an orange nozzle, so it looks very much like a toy. But I want to cover this from two sides, okay? Okay, I think a good place to start would be the article, okay? It gives more details about what's going on here. It says Danny Elliott was at work last month in Colorado Springs when her 12-year-old son's vice principal called with alarming news. A police officer was on the way to her house, all because her son had played with a toy gun during his virtual class, his virtual art class. Elliott says she was terrified, especially considering her son is black. I never thought you can't play with a Nerf gun in your own home because somebody may perceive it as a threat and call the police on you. That's what the mother said. Elliott's son Isaiah was later suspended for 5 days and now has a record with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and a mark on his school disciplinary paper saying he brought a facsimile or a firearm to school. Huh? Okay. Even though he was at his own home during a virtual class, the gun was obviously a toy, painted black and green with Zombie Hunter on the side. Okay. Elliott lashed out at the school, arguing that it was irresponsible to call police given the frequency of police violence against black people. With the cultural events going on right now, especially for young African Americans, you calling the police and telling them that he could have a gun, you put his life in jeopardy, Elliott said. Elliott says she thinks the school doesn't understand the possible consequences. In a statement on its Facebook page, Grand Mountain School said that while there has been false information spreading online, it can't provide any details on what happened, citing privacy laws. They always default to that. If I remember, I will leave a link to the rest of the story in the comment section. I wanted to expound on the fact that this young man is sitting in his own home, okay? And so they're getting him for bringing a gun to school. And he's doing virtual school at home. Another side that I want to look at with this whole story, okay? First of all, I think this is all ridiculous. This is all ridiculous. Now he has a record, okay? He has a record. He's 12 years old and he now has a record. That's ridiculous. The other issue that I wanted to point at is that if you are having virtual school and you're sitting in front of the camera, I got to look at it both ways, y'all. Okay, I like to be as fair and balanced as I possibly can. Why is he playing with a toy gun? Why? There was a recent story that talked about something similar. Okay, unless this is, I don't see that this is the same story. But anyway, the other story, there was a gun on the wall behind the student when the teacher was using her camera to look around in the room or whatever. So I think that was a different story. But at any rate, I don't understand why this young man was even playing with a gun. We've got to teach our children. We've got to sit them down and teach them how to conduct themselves, because there are people out there who want to spread fear about black people. You see, this young man was in his own home. He wasn't a threat to anyone, but to have this on his school report and a record with the police department, to show that he brought a weapon to school? I mean, you can't look at this and say, you know what, we're going to just brush this one off to the side. This one is a misunderstanding. You can't do that? Why not? If they don't get this off of this young man's record, we will know what's going on here. Because anytime you have millions of people around the country who will support a 17-year-old white kid who shot and killed 2 people and blew a chunk of flesh off the arm of another one, anytime you'll have millions of people supporting that kid, but this kid is going to now get a record for something that wasn't even real. Something that was obviously a toy, a green gun with black handle and an orange tip that has zombie hunters on the side. Come on now. They pull all kinds of strings when need be for their own children. But something like this, a grave misunderstanding, and I hate to see what would happen if he was in public. As a matter of fact, we've already seen it. Tamir Rice, toy gun, shot dead, 2 seconds. That is the America we live in. There is no denying that there is a problem here in the minds of people who dwell in this country, those that look like the ruling class. There's obviously something going on. Of course, people want to gaslight us and make us think that it's all in our heads, even though we are the ones who experience these things on a daily basis. We are the ones who experience these things. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story in the comment section, okay? If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Share this video and like it. With that, I am out. Ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.